been a privilege and honor to have been taught my trade, which built my skilled career by the sacrifices and with the integrity of all the veterans, my supervisors, other journeymen, and fellow apprentices during my 15 years in naval ship repair. The time shared with the active duty personnel working together to keep our fleet in tip top shape encouraged my understanding of why we are a nation with freedom and open dreams that can be reached with our own hard work. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my job shop. My name is Keith, and we're here repairing America one project at a time. Today we're back on Pearl, and I told you that next time you saw it, we'd have this painted. And ready to go onto the bed. Before I did that, I wanted to leave it in this position. I got to rig it up so that I'm holding it level and I can set it down on there properly. But I wanted to show you the areas underneath here on the ways. The V ways worked at both ends, and this flat ways here was worked on upper and bottom. I'm going to zoom you in on the top so that you can see the detail of the scraping that they did on this. Now the headstock needed to be, I sent it up there so that they can, one, align this to the bed. It's got to be aligned to the bed horizontally and in line straight down the run of the bed as well. So you got to work the V and you got to work the flat here. And they touched everything up so that they could set that to their tolerances. And so far, everything that I've seen on there, it's just super duper workmanship there. And the pudding, the proof in the pudding there will be when we get the thing completely all put together and everything else, and are performing jobs on here. All right, I'm going to zoom back out here. All right, so I have this on here because this is up off the ground here. This is real stable, but accidents do happen. So I happen to just, all I did is this lift wasn't doing anything, so it might as well be here just being a safety on here. So I'm going to go ahead and re-rig, get this thing laid down, and then I'll bring you back in when we're getting ready to set it. I'm going to take a rag, just a cloth rag, and lightly spray some ZEP 45 or light oil, and I'm just going to be rubbing these surfaces here before I put it down, because I just want to make sure that it's quite a moisture protective on those two surfaces as we lay it down. Just thin as possible. I don't want anything holding or hydraulic supporting. I want it to go on down, but I don't want any rust building in there. All right, let me re-rig here. I rigged it back up with the 3 points here. I just remember too, this is just barely, this was barely high enough, I think, to even come over here and go. Choke it up a little bit closer if I can here. I think maybe taking this out, and I'll run the hook directly on here. I laid a blanket inside, or a heavy towel, so that my chain can go down into the sump there. Yeah, I think that's a, yeah. All right. Okay. All right. Before I get it over there, I need to get a little bit more in line with my gantry here. All right. And I want to wipe my surfaces. All right. Boy, I couldn't have trigonometried that alignment there, could I? Okay. Pretty flush to the bottom. There's a little block that was back here. I remember it. And also, too, we have our holes that got to go in and line up there. Awesome. All right, I'm going to get my fasteners, and then we're going to bolt this down. Starting to look like a machine already, even without all the handles. All right, I found my box of fasteners that were just for, well, it was for the carriage and the headstock there, because when the carriage and the apron I meant, because in here are the bolts for the apron, and I brought up 4 so they can hang that, because at the same, they had to do all the work to the carriage and judge and set it up for the backlash on the pinion, for the rack and pinion that controls the carriage movements. All right, so we got our 2 locking bars here. This one and that one are the front bolts, and these are the 2 bolts that go and hold each of the flat bars underneath and anchor down the headstock. And I am going to go ahead and share a little never sees with these bolts that I put in here. Let's see, 1941, and this is 20. I was just figuring out how long this is going to need to be in here. So, oh wow, hey, that's like perfect alignment on those holes, and I just sighted down them. I'm going to be checking out that little block. I forget if that little block aligns the side piece here or not, but it definitely is not flush with this surface here. So I guess that little block came out, and when this gearbox aligns on the side here, that's what that was. I got pictures, but I also remember taking it apart, and I remember it being there. And I knew that I was going to be relocating something to that back surface. I'm not going to tighten these all the way down until I get everything in there, but I am going to bring them all the way down to the bottom of this travel. I thought I pulled these all the way out before I took the headstock off. I don't think I remember sliding it. I got a little hasty on my rigging there, or letting my rigging off. And we're going to have to put these two bars on here and then slide this thing into place. So I reset up the gantry here, and I should be able to run this back far enough. All right, with the front end up, I should, and I'm okay. And I'm only going to put the front one on and make sure it slides all the way in as well. And one of these actually has a little bit bigger holes than the other ones, but so one might be a little narrower. I don't know. Okay, let's see about getting the back one in here. And if I'm able to start this one in here, it looks like, okay, I can see the rub marks there, so. Looks like lots of clearance. It was just a little bit that this thing wasn't fitting on here. Okay. Make sure that I can. You want to get them in as easy as you can with your fingers, so. Okay, now I'm gonna drop these down in here because I should be able to get them somewhat started. I might actually have to make a special wrench to get down underneath there and get that tightened up. I remember it was somewhat of an issue taking it out, and hey, maybe they are 7/8, right? Yeah. Hey, I think that's the wrench I made. Yeah, I might use this and then a straight one also. All right. Now we got a paint job and we got new fresh ground ways. You got to have a habit of not laying things on them without a rag. Okay, as long as I can turn each one of those, I think we're going to be good. I can turn both of those back there. Yep. Okay, I can turn those. All right. Now we're not going to have an issue. And our gantry is kind of in line here, so I'm going to be able to pick up the bonnet, put it down here when I want to. And we can leave the gantry in this line for right now because I'll be able to slide my table in here as well and still have that for the closing lathe. All right. It's not the first time. Remember when we were kids in school? You could pull out the you can drop a Volkswagen engine out with a pair of your buddies, no lift or nothing else. You can muscle that thing in and out, changing out clutches. My Renault R10, same thing. I could actually put the ass end of those cars unbolted, so you just took the tail end of the car, tail lights and everything else, license plate and the rear bumper, set that on the floor, and then you're able to get right in there and undo the engine and then slide it right out, change out your clutch and put one in there. So who knows why we had so many clutches, right?